Should I tell you why you're saying? Should I tell you why you're saying it's earthly? Because you have never seen paradise, neither have I. The only way. Let me finish. The only way you can imagine paradise is what you can see on earth. But we know it is degrees higher than what you can see. For example, the women of Jannah, of paradise, are not the same as the women of earth. Let me finish. For example, their fragrance, they are not even going to answer the call of nature. This is not something that you do not see among the women of this earth. The women of this earth have limitations. In the heavens, there is something that goes beyond this. So, like I said, you as a human being and I as a human being, we can only imagine these things and speculate about these things from our earthly examples. I gave you the example of the wine, why it's not like that of the earth. So I don't know why you're saying it's like the earthly wine. No, it's not. The wine of paradise is not like the earthly wine where you get drunk, where you lose basically your ability to think right, where you can have an accident with somebody, or you can fall in a gutter and without knowing that you're basically somehow embarrassing yourself in front of your friends and family. But in paradise, that wine is not such. It'll be pure wine. So do not say it's like the earthly.
So the best you have is a description of.
No, I gave you two examples. You want me to go on? I can give you lots more.
Go.
No problem. Okay. So there is, for example, anything you desire in paradise, you can have it. Yes. So for example, one of the pleasures that the women of paradise will have is they'll have the company of their husbands if they so desire.
Oh, isn't that true? They get a bunch of boys.
No, they get a bunch of boys. Where do you get that from?
Last time we had something different. Go.
Bunch of boys in what? For having sex?
Apparently they get a group of boys.
No, come on.
Where do you get that from? Unless he's thinking about the Christian paradise where they get these cherubims. Cherubims are they're considered like little children, little butt-naked children with little wings on the back.
Go.
So don't confuse the paradises. Okay. So for example, like I said, they'll have the companionship of the people they love.
You accept. It's very no. It's very. Do you accept? It's very important that what you're defining is clear, so that people are motivated. For this. Okay, now explain.
Now your motivation.
Because if you're gonna tell me it's gonna be Lamborghinis and shit, then that's not gonna interest some of us.
Well, some people like Lamborghinis. You got a problem with that?
Has different desires. You can't.
In the same way,
have one.
You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing.
Tell me what.
You are somehow suppressing your desire in order to seem more moral. Am I right? Because I think some of the earthly pleasures that drive us are pathetic. And if you're going to tell me in heaven, and I'm not saying you've said. Name some desires that are pathetic. Go on.
Like drinking wine, like having pleasure, sexual pleasures.
Not every person's the same.
Exactly. What's your desires? What would you like in heaven then?
I explained earlier. My perfect heaven is when I don't seek anything.
When what?
I don't need.
You don't need anything.
Well, that's just not answering the question.
How is that even paradise?
What's that exactly? So you just sit there?
You're just going to stand like that.
Just stand there and seek nothing.
How is that paradise?
Go be descriptive. Be descriptive.
Imagine you're sitting like this for eternity in paradise. Is that reward or torture?
Because to
me that is torture.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think you experience that.
Be descriptive. Okay, you enter heaven, then what? What are you going to do? What's your perfect day in heaven?
The idea that you don't actually seek pleasure.
No, forget that. What's your desire, your activities in heaven? What's your ideal day in heaven?
So
what do you see? What do you do?
So this sounds like activity for you.
Just
no, you tell us. Forget about his
interpretation. It's yours,
tell me about you.
Okay, for me, because I'm actually not sure about afterlife, it's difficult for me to say, hey, there is a heaven when I'm going to chill out, be happy for eternity.
Argument's sake, let's see you do.
For you to say, hold on, for you to motivate me, I'm happy to listen. But if you're going to tell me I'm going to be, chilling by a river, having the best food, and having 70 virgins.
No, forget that. Forget that. What's yours? Concentrate.
No. He gave an answer. He said, I cannot imagine about that. So he can imagine. He cannot imagine what's going to happen in paradise as his ideal world. Yes, but he somehow can critique what the Muslims.
You say he wants to criticize everyone, but you can't answer a simple question himself.
Your desires. Can I just say?
What you said about seeing God? That's amazing.
You still not answer the question.
Let's see if you agree with me or disagree. Desires are subjective.
Yes.
Okay. So what you think, for the heaven, the paradise, is not just for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's for everyone.
That's fine.
Are we going to be together?
Let me finish.
Okay.
If you want to desire to just sit there and do nothing,
you could do that here.
then that is your heaven.
Okay.
Then
Why
you
don't you
shut-
just go sit there and
Wait,
just
wait,
do
bro,
that there?
bro,
That's
bro,
heaven
bro.
for you.
But
Sit there,
you
do
see,
nothing.
wait.
My problem
But
is
for
I'm
you
gonna
to
have
judge everyone else,
I'm gonna have you in
Seriously.
heaven. We're gonna be together in heaven, right?
first you need to get them.
If I get it, we're gonna be together.
Okay, let's see if you're going to be that.
I'm
Do you
gonna
believe
be there.
Islam is your religion?
If I'm gonna,
Do you believe Islam
can
is
I
your
finish?
religion?
Can I finish?
If you don't, then you won't be in heaven.
If I get there, will I be in the same heaven as him? Because I'm not gonna have it. I'm not gonna be.
Bro,
we're gonna be in conflict.
bro.
Because
bro.
listen,
In heaven, you
like
forget
said-
about the earth
hold on. No,
and
no.
your problems in this earth.
You said pleasure is subjective.
La ilaha illallah.
It is.
We are bound to do things that we offend others, and if we have the right, or we have like actual will, or if you like, to do whatever we like, we're gonna start offending each other. You're gonna be doing things that just
No.
to be
Shall I tell you why you're wrong?
Why?
Because you see, if you're in paradise, you will desire to be happy. Yes? If his company doesn't make you happy, then you will be given a place far away from him. Like I said, you will get what you
Listen to
desire.
this guy. It
Exactly,
sounds-
yes.
It sounds
You will be
so
getting what.
earthly, bro.
Why
It
is it
sounds
earthly?
like it's-
He just said it. That was
a
his.
different place.
That was the thing that will make him
What are you
happy. He doesn't
talking
want to be in your paradise. So I'm giving him what he wants. Now he's saying that he's
Let's
earthly.
do that.
Okay.
Exactly.
Let me say something.
You'll
very
never be
clear.
happy, trust
If there
me.
is going to be a heaven, I'm going to beat it. And there is one person there that's going to offend me that I need to be so far away from.
Yeah.
That's not my heaven.
Do you want to be near him or far away?
Thank you for the
No, let me
invite.
ask you this.
I don't want.
What's
any
your
of it.
perfect solution then? What's your solution? What do you think?
Like I said, the perfect heaven is.
No, what's-
No, in that scenario.
What's
In
your
that scenario.
perfect solution
that's
to
not-
that? Yeah.
I don't think that heaven exists.
So you're.
Because you cannot be heaven. You're perfect. You can't be in conflict. How could you be in conflict? Oh, next thing is you're portraying heaven just like earth.
You know what you just created.
Your
This is
heaven
called
is earth.
this is called a strawman argument. Shall I tell you
heaven
what?
is
Shall I tell you why this is a strawman argument? Because
is earth,
you
bro.
created the conflict, and then you said
Exactly.
it won't happen in Paris.
Because you said
You mentioned a
he
conflict.
said pleasure is subjective and we can do whatever we like that makes us happy.
No.
And I said
Pleasure
well, in
is
that case-
subjective.
and in that case,
Listen.
he's going to do things.
Let me
that-
finish. Pleasure is subjective, but you're still subject to the laws of God.
Okay.
Wait. Let me finish. So, for example, in heaven, if you wanted to commit sins, like for example sodomy, maybe some people have pleasure, I don't know, having sex with men having sex with men, or female with female. Now these things Allah has made haram. Yes, Allah. If this is the law of paradise, that this is haram, then you cannot partake in that haram.
Okay, you made it
Now
clear.
wait. So when you say subjective in the sense that your desire and his desire might not be the same.
Okay.
Yes, wait, I haven't finished yet. The reward you get in Jannah, yes, you're saying you have an objection to that. Because you as an individual whose libido might be less than the other people,
say it's objective.
might not want to have sex maybe as often as some other people. Yes? I don't know, some people have some issues with their sex life. Maybe some people do, but in heaven, you will be given a heavenly body and your limitations of this earth doesn't apply there. Okay? So rest assured, those people who have limitations like some handicap or something, in Jannah you will be given a perfect body.
Okay, so in
Perfect
heaven,
in the sense that Allah
so in
wants
heaven
it.
you're going to be just chilling and having fun forever, right? Like you described.
Sorry, you'll be chilling
You're
and
gonna
what?
be chilling and having fun forever, right?
Having what for fun?
Having fun.
Ah,
Like some of the items you mentioned.
No, you will-
Let me ask
you'll be
this.
happy-
Let me
look,
ask you this. You said if he does something that I don't appreciate because of his subjective.
didn't you realize the sarcasm there? Did you not sense the sarcasm?
Oh, you didn't mean it.
No, I said if you are someone
You didn't mean it. Because
sarcasm.
if you can
You know what is
prove-
it?
how could you use sarcasm in this conversation?
I can
said-
because you keep saying you talk about the pleasure
Show me
and
the
about
text. If you show me the text that in heaven I'll be put miles away from him, I'll be a Muslim today.
oh you still didn't get the sarcasm, did
Oh,
you?
so it's sarcasm.
I just
Because
said
you
you're-
create the conflict. Do you not understand that? You're the one who created the conflict.
So you're, wait.
he's
Are you
using
saying I cannot use sarcasm in a conversation?
It was pathetic. It didn't even.
What pathetic to you maybe?
Of course.
The thing is, the
Because
reason
you suggested
you know what is
it made
pathetic?
sense.
You know what is more pathetic?
You
Because you
said-
still don't know what you're going to do in heaven.
You said-
You don't know what you're going to
No,
do.
he does. He's gonna sit around in the park and do nothing.
No, honestly, what will you do in your ideal
That's what he's
paradise?
gonna do.
Ethically,
We asked you this.
morally,
Yeah.
that's for me.
But that's so earthly, my friend. But that's so earthly. How's that heaven? How's that?
The only
Sitting
thing you talk
around.
about
You could do that here.
is wines and trees.
But
and
you don't know
sex.
what you're
man.
going to
There's
do.
nothing else.
You don't know what you're going to do.
Take a seat now. That's like being in heaven for you, right?
Potentially, yeah.
Do you know what you're going to do in your paradise? Do you know what you're going to do?
Seriously.
So like I said.
Yeah, go on.
the
What will
best-
you do in your
The best you
paradise?
can do, like you said, seeing God, I think that's
No, that was
actually
my answer.
something-
What is your answer?
That's how it makes-
What is your
I like
so?
that.
You
I
agree
like
with
that.
one part of my answer? That's good.
That's the only
Alhamdulillah.
thing.
Okay.
The rest of it is pathetic.
Okay, so you're saying
The rest of
Wait,
it.
you're
I
saying
think-
for eternity-
If you could chill. and
is
be
that all you're going to
perfect,
do?
if you're
What is
sophisticated-
perfection for you? What is perfection?
I'll explain.
Yeah, what is perfection? Go on.
If you're perfect, especially in the desire hemisphere of things like food, you're gonna take a shit in heaven.
No, you're not going to take shit in heaven. You won't die in heaven either.
Weird, right? Okay.
Oh, you would want to take shit?
No, it's pathetic.
Maybe that's his paradise.
How are you going to be drinking all this, and going on these
Sit
like
in the
rivers?
toilet seat.
Ah, you see, that is exactly what I'm saying. He keeps comparing earth
You have
to
the
paradise.
MTV version
Exactly.
of heaven, bro. I
No,
don't like
no,
it.
no, no, no. You're the one.
Am I gonna
The
get
reason,
paid?
the reason you're talking about answering the call of nature. The reason you're talking about eating food and answering the call of nature is because you're still comparing your earthly existence to paradise. That is your problem.
Because that's
You
how
cannot.
heaven is portrayed in the
That-
text.
no, it's
I've
not.
asked you to do
Never,
something
never, never,
better.
never. I don't think you've read
The only
it.
thing
I don't think you've read
I've read
it. Show
it.
me anywhere.
There is a hadith
Show me
that
anywhere in the
even
hadith
said-
of the Quran where it says you'll answer the call of nature in heaven. Go on.
There was a hadith that even said you could potentially have a erection for a long time.
I see again sex. This guy can't have enough of it.
Which is pathetic, man.
You know what is pathetic?
Pathetic.
You know what is pathetic? Your obsession with sex.
I'm saying you're heaven.
Everything you said, after every sentence, it is the conversation led to sex again.
You're heaven.
I think you're really obsessed.
Quote that hadith.
You need to get married or get some help. Honestly,
Do you know what?
Quote that hadith.
At least Hijab said it's a weak hadith.
it's a weak hadith. Oh, well
So
done.
you-
Well done. The only thing you could prove is a weak hadith, and that too, it is
At least he
related to
says
sex.
that.
No, I said-
Why is this guy so
I
obsessed
said-
with sex? I don't understand.
So it's a weak hadith.
No, I said
No, honestly, if you're not married, get married as soon as
Okay,
possible.
hurry.
Because you're going nuts.
Okay, let's talk about Huris. Yeah? They have lovely eyes. And they're virgins.
Yeah, you got a problem with that?
And what's the point?
If heaven, is gonna be so close to what earth is.
No, I didn't say. Nobody said it's close to earth. That is his mistake he keeps doing.
It's
He doesn't
portrayed.
portray close to earth. It does not portray close to earth.
Rivers, wine. Oh, you meant something. Oh, I hear.
The rivers of this,
It means something
wait,
completely
the
different. I
rivers
don't
of the
understand.
earth
It's supposed to
are not the
motivate
same
you.
as the rivers of
Okay,
paradise.
hold on.
The wine of earth is not the wine of paradise. The
Okay.
women of earth is not the same of women of the
Excellent,
paradise.
excellent.
So no one said it is compared to earth. You keep using a strawman argument,
You make a lot of
and
sense.
it doesn't. No,
You make a
nobody's
lot of
laughing
sense.
here. Nobody's laughing
You're
here.
describing something, yeah?
Yeah.
Just like heaven, just like earth.
I
in a
never
great
said just
way.
like. Did I say
But-
just like?
But it's
Once
not
again, you're making a big mistake. There's a degree of understanding what something is similar to and what is the same as. For example, if I say to you, you're going to look similar to what you look now, but with a different body in paradise, does that mean your earthly self in this earth? No, it's not. Your earthly self is different to that. You have limitations in this earth.
You know what I have
In
a problem
paradise, your limitations are not going to be like the earthly limitations.
You didn't use any sarcasm. But anyway.
It's going to be about sex again?
You know what I have a problem with?
Yeah, go on.
The text says something very clear. When we get into it, you actually say, it means something else. You just can't imagine it. The river is not a river. The wine is not a wine. The sex is not sex. And the Huris, you don't have no idea. But yet, this heaven that you just described is supposed to be the cornerstone of my motivation to believe in your religion, so that I can benefit from it at some point.
By the way, the
But
motivation, wait. The motivation for you to believe in my religion shouldn't be paradise first.
No, but that's part of it. That's what I'm saying.
Can I finish?
People have a choice.
Wait.
They
You
can commit
said
sin
the rivers. Wait.
and
You
avoid
said the
hell.
rivers are like this earth. Do you have a river of the earth on this? Sorry, a river of milk in this dunya. Do you have a river of honey in this dunya? Wait.
No, you don't.
Do you have a river of wine? So how is it compared to the earth? The guy doesn't understand his own argument. That's the problem.
I'm gonna see
You know why? You know why he can't understand?
I
Because
cannot-
sex is on his mind all the time.
I cannot wait
The guy is
for it.
obsessed with sex.
I
I think he
cannot.
really needs to get married, get a life,
I cannot.
and then first believe in God and then worry about the Jannah.
Bro,
You know,
this
he
is
doesn't even believe in God. He's an agnostic. He said it himself.
as a Muslim,
And
you're
then he has to worry about
embarrassing
Jannah. Yes, the
You're
Muslims. I think.
derogatory.
Look. The
You're
Muslims
very
are
rude.
satisfied with that Jannah and with the reward they're getting. If you're not, then you're not a Muslim.
Okay.
We don't want your Jannah where we just sit around and do nothing. We don't want that.
If you're excited about a river full of honey,
River full of honey. I'm
We're
very
amongst
excited.
the men, of course.
I'm very excited.
Well, it's more exciting than what your
Yes.
Jannah is. It's more exciting than what your Jannah is.
you don't
Okay, look, that's your Jannah. Sit around and do nothing.
Your mind-
Wait. We asked you a simple question. What's your Jannah?
Like I
And
said-
your mind was, oh, sit down and that's my
Exactly.
heaven. And you're arguing
Okay, now
with me about
let's
that.
use the same.
That's exactly.
Let's use
That's
the
your
same.
argument.
Does
And you're
anyone
criticizing my
desire a paradise where they do nothing like this guy?
And sit around.
See, nobody.
Sit around.
Nobody.
Because you're
Yeah.
playing
I can use your own argument.
Because you're playing the earthly desires and earthly lives.
I never said it's
Because
earthly.
no
For
one
the
here-
10th, time.
No one on earth
I'm not saying it's
lacks
earthly.
desires. You agree that on earth we have.
It's not earthly desire.
You're
It's not
exploiting
earthly
them. You're exploiting
rivers.
them.
It's not earthly women for the
You're
nth
exploiting
time.
them. You're exploiting them.
Exploiting whom?
Because everyone here.
How am I exploiting
Because
them?
You're playing by the desires.
Am I exploiting anyone here?
You're making,
Am I exploiting anyone here?
You're making
No
So
chance.
stop making strawman arguments.
Can I talk?
Yes, you can. You've got enough chances to talk. But what you're doing is you're spewing
Can I
lies
talk?
every time you talk.
First of all, if you represent Islam, don't be derogatory. It doesn't come across.
Sorry, don't be
derogatory.
derogatory. How am I derogatory when I expose your lies?
Because
You made a you made a false accusation that I somehow compare or make the heaven like the earth. I do not do that.
Okay, let me
I've
say-
told you repeatedly, but somehow it goes. I don't know. Not it doesn't. You don't seem to compute
Can I talk?
compute what you're hearing.
Okay, you said a river full of honey.
Yeah.
That's just meaningless, man. Like,
Why is it meaningless?
How could anyone be so excited about?
Wait. To you, that's meaningless. To me, it's not. Is it to
Okay.
anyone else?
Every
No.
full of
It
honey.
means a lot to us, amongst with other things.
So you
Of
go home
course.
every day, Mom. I can't wait for that river of honey.
And you go home and say, Mom, I can't
wait
have
to
enough
sit
sex.
down. No, I can't wait to sit down today.
You know, we can play this game together. Yes, I'm serious. Because the reason you, like I said many times, you're obsessed with sex is because you know every single sentence that you have spoken so far. Obviously, I'm being a bit hyperbolic
You're
here.
being derogatory
Is
again.
now talking about sex.
Your heaven is
Yes,
sex.
you talk about sex.
Your
You talk
heaven
about
is
sex.
sexed up
Talk about
because
sex again.
Your heaven is sexed up, not mine.
There he goes again.
Your
There he goes
heaven is
again.
sexed up. It's full of sex. That's
There he
all
goes
it is.
again.
Yes.
What is your heaven? What is your heaven
My
full of?
heaven
Nothing.
is when you're perfect, you don't desire anything, and maybe you see.
Oh, so perfect means you don't desire anything. You know, that sounds like a robot to me.
No, that's perfect.
Perfect means robot
If your
in his
mind
dictionary.
is not sophisticated to
Don't give me your
understand
definition of perfect,
what
please.
that means.
Your
I'm just
definition
sorry
of
for you.
perfect is neither here nor there.
I think some of the more humans that have like animal instincts, they are driven by the desires you're trying to motivate.
You mean like the sex you keep talking?
And you're doing a good
Like
job.
the sex you keep
And
talking?
you're doing a good job. But the more it's spiritual, the more
Yeah.
sophisticated minds
Yes.
are not motivated by any of your descriptions that you
How
just
many
gave.
spiritual people have you met?
Many.
Really?
Many.
Name me one. Let's see if he
Many.
knows. Let's see if anyone I
Many in my
know.
life.
Name me one.
Hey, just because there's
Name me one.
just
Name me
because there's
one,
lots of-
please.
Just because
Name me one.
What do you
What
mean?
religion did he follow?
Oh, they're not religious.
Oh, so spiritual person, not religious.
No,
That's a
absolutely.
lie.
They believe in a
That's a
God.
lie.
They don't believe.
A spiritual person is not religious. It's
Wait.
definitely a lie because he doesn't know what a religion means. A religion means believing, for example, the major religions at least, believing in spiritual things like angels, like God.
Oh,
Yes,
no,
if he
no,
thinks
no,
God is someone
that's your
material,
religion.
then he doesn't know what religion
No,
is.
You're going by the.
Okay, anyway, I think I've had enough entertainment from this guy who's an agnostic and who's got a goofy laugh and he doesn't want to be recorded. That's fine. But at the end of the day, if he thinks that Islam is somehow giving you a reward and a motivation like the earth, then it's completely misunderstanding what the paradise is. Okay? Because at the end of the day, you don't even believe in God. Now you're worried about what I'm going to get in paradise. First, make an effort to get there. What you need to be worried about is what if God was true and God did exist and God did judge you. You need to be worried about why didn't you ask the question, what is the hell like? Because hell is no walk in the park. Hell is not going to be something that you're going to desire or want any of your worst enemies to be fed into, because that is what you really need to be worried about. Now at the end of the day, if you don't believe in God, you know, your end will not be paradise, because shirk or not believing in God will lead you to Jahannam, which is
Paradise that
hellfire.
you can't
Okay,
describe.
that is not paradise, that is called the
Paradise you can't
Jahannam, and that is called the hellfire. So what I suggest you do is you go and find out whether God exists, whether you should believe in God or not believe in God. Once you have made your decision, then you worry about hell and heaven. But before you believe in God, you're worried about hell and heaven as an agnostic. I think you got a lot of hope in going to heaven without believing in God, and that is unreal. And with that, I think I would like to end the conversation, because at the end of the day, I don't think we are going anywhere. We're just going in circle. You keep mentioning sex in paradise. Yes, maybe you're obsessed with sex, and this is exactly what Godwin does as well when he talks about the women in heaven. The only thing they can think about is sex in heaven.
Because that's all you have.
You know, because the women in Jannah will be married to the men in Jannah. Are you saying the only thing with your wife you do is have sex? That is only pathetic if you're a sex-starved maniac. And only that person will talk about sex all the time if you're sex-starved. And I think you really should get married.
Let's talk about the honeys.
All right.
I'm convinced you've done a great job.
Yeah, he goes a honey.